Hi, everyone. This is Ellen from the Astrology Journal. So, just doing some more thinking out loud as I read through Stanley Greenspan's book on child development called First Feelings. And these are two quotes from his first chapter of child development from 0 to 3 months old, where the focus is on the senses. So, it's about regulating yourself. So, learning to keep yourself calm and be calm within yourself, and also learning to be or being interested in the world. And both, he says, so the being interested in the world is part of what helps keep you regulated. For example, seeing your mother smile helps to keep you regulated. Um, so that ability to be still within oneself is Taurus. So the senses are Taurus, and being still within oneself are Taurus also. There are a couple of interesting quotes that you can see here. This first one is from page 16. Recognizing your baby's individual characteristics is the first step in supporting her emotional development. So I talked in the video yesterday about how Greenspan is saying that the development of the senses and the ability to regulate oneself, that's the foundation for emotional development. Emotional development is Cancer. In the chart, Cancer and Taurus are sextile each other, so there's an opportunity there. But but this is bringing in the individual characteristics. This is bringing in Aquarius. So Taurus is the first Earth sign, the first fixed sign, and Aquarius is the last fixed sign. So in Aquarius, what we're doing is we're individuating and we're expressing our unique selves. It's all about being unique and individual and different and eclectic and all of that. The roots of that are already present at the very beginning, in as we're developing our senses, as we're developing our ability to be still within ourselves. We need our caregivers to be able to see that the baby likes this, but not this. That we need the caregiver to be able to see this pitch of voice hurts, but this pitch of voice is soothing. And we need the baby to be able to see that the baby likes to be held straight up like this, but doesn't like to be held horizontal, doesn't like a horizontal position, or the other way around, or whatever. There are basic things that most babies like, but then there are things where so there are like hypersensitive and hyposensitive babies, and they may be different. So most babies apparently like to be held vertical and looking and smiling at you. Not all babies like that. Some prefer a more horizontal position or other things. So I'm not presuming to tell you what all the different things are. I'm just sharing what I'm learning from the book. So but the point that matters is that the individuality is already present at the very beginning, and how well we develop that, how well our environment responds to that and adapts to us in terms of just our basic needs. I mean, if we're really fundamentally unhappy by certain things, and the environment doesn't adapt, meaning that the caregivers don't adapt, then we hinder our ability to grow into individuated beings. But we also, as will be seen in this next quote, however, in some instances, these sensitivities can prevent a baby from learning. So he's talking about hyper and hyposensitive babies. However, in some instances, these sensitivities can prevent a baby from learning to regulate himself and take an interest in the world, making the next stage, falling in love, more difficult. So falling in love is actually Venus, which is ruled by, Taurus is ruled by Venus. And we have a self-relationship, so love of ourselves, and then we have love of the other. Venus has its rulership of Libra. So we have to first develop love for ourselves. And part of that depends on an environment that sees us as individuals and adapts reasonably to what is unique to us. So if we just have factory line child rearing, every baby is this way, and so we do these things. And then when there are exceptions, rather than saying, we need to adapt, we say something's wrong with the baby and hopefully they'll outgrow it. He talks about that, parents who think it'll be about outgrowing. By the way, I just want to quickly say I don't have kids and I haven't raised kids. And I'm not at all in any way, shape, or form meaning to criticize or disparage parents. This is like I can't even imagine raising a kid. I think it's incredibly difficult. So I'm reading and I'm trying to understand. I'm understanding it within myself in terms of my own experience. I'm trying to understand it within the context of the astrological archetypes. So when I'm speaking, I'm speaking from that perspective. I'm not speaking from a critical eye on parenting. So that I want to be clear on that. So our ability to love ourselves and others is dependent on our ability to engage our senses and to be able to be still in ourselves. And part of that depends on we're all kind of wired differently. And does our environment adapt well enough that we can access our senses without having to withdraw from them because it's too painful or something like that. Mostly I'm drawing on Greenspan's discussion on hypersensitive kids, not so much on his discussion on hyposensitive, because I haven't read enough of that, and I don't fully understand yet how that works out in terms of engaging with children and helping them. Okay, so this second quote is on page 21 of Greenspan's book, First Feelings. So we have, and I also wanted to say that this ability to regulate oneself and to be able to be in connection with one's feelings, the reason I have a fox here is because it's just an animal that's still, very much engaged in its ecosystem. It's, co-regulating with the environment in terms of its beingness in the world. And when I think of animals, I think of very competent beings. Because they know, they're attuned, they're listening, they're paying attention, and they know what all of that means, and they know what actions to take or not take based on that feedback. Humans, we are also animals, but we're disconnected from our natural ecosystem, and we've lost connection with that. So our basic foundation of competence is missing, in my view. That first foundation of competence is Capricorn, the third earth sign. Taurus is the first earth sign. So the foundation of that is in our ability to regulate ourselves and be in our environment, and be regulated and be able to understand, receive that feedback, and be able to say, yes, I like this. No, I don't like this. Yes, this means danger. Stay away, and have that validated. And this is not dangerous. This is pleasing. This is pleasurable, and have that validated. That's a very rudimentary foundation for our sense of competence. That's how I'm seeing it. So those are my thoughts. Those are my journal notes as I kind of process this information and try to make sense of it all. So far, it's seeming like there's, a base and a sign. This is very early, but a base and a sign, but then there's interconnections with all the other signs. We can see how everything is connected to everything else. Okay, that's all for now. If you listen, thank you so much. And if you have any thoughts on this, I would love to hear them. I love engaging in these kinds of conversations. Okay, take care. Bye.